If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. NBA YoungBoy just named his top 5 rappers, I guess, of all time, and they're very interesting. We gotta take a look at this. It's kind of interesting to see what YoungBoy, who many claim as the GOAT, I think Trippie Redd called him the Tupac of this generation, at least compared the two. That was wild to me. Let me know what you think about that. But today he named his top 5 favorite rappers. So let's look at who they are. So this clip has been going around, and academics in this case reposted it. At least that's where I saw it. And in the video, YoungBoy is like, okay, so for my top 5 favorite rappers, and then he starts listing them, and we got to take a look at it because a lot of people have been talking about this, and a lot of people thought that this was kind of like really unexpected of what he said here, because he starts out and says, my top 5 rappers. I'll say Yeat, I'll say Thug, I'll say French Montana, Glizzy, I'll say Shy Glizzy, and the last one, Soulja Slim. So actually, this is very interesting because when you break it down, he's actually collaborated with all of them except for Soulja Slim, which isn't very surprising because Soulja Slim passed away in 2003. But seeing that he put Yeat on here, I thought was very interesting. He just got a Yeat feature on his latest project, so that, might be explanation for it. Maybe the two of them have been linking up, and I like to see that YoungBoy's also tapped into like the new wave of what's happening in hip hop. Maybe noticing Yeat as this embodiment of like that rage sound coming up, even breaking through in the charts. Maybe put Yeat on here because of that. He put Thugger on here, which I thought was also a nod to Big Homie, and I feel like Thugger was someone that YoungBoy was also like looking up to a lot in the days of like 2015 to 2018, right before he was about to blow. A lot of these young people who then started doing music were looking up to Thug and Future and listening to those people, so I'm guessing that's why Thugger is on this list. We'll skip over French Montana for a second. He put Shy Glizzy on here, which is like a good take. I guess maybe he was also listening to him around the time that he was growing up. Maybe he was like 13, 14, 15 listening to it. I remember like Shy Glizzy, was it like 2014, he had like a big moment with what was that, White Girl, something like that. I think the track was called his biggest track, at least from what I've know him for. And Soulja Slim, maybe that was someone who his parents listened to, who he heard growing up in New Orleans, because Soulja Slim is also from New Orleans, rest in peace, and maybe that's why he's on this list. But French fucking Montana, I feel like has not made it on any top 5 favorite rappers list in like forever. Nobody puts French Montana in their top 5. Who even puts them in there in like even the conversation when it comes to one of the best rappers out there? I feel like he's always in the conversation for worst rappers, or the ones that least deserve it, or the ones that ruin songs. Why does NBA YoungBoy, someone that a lot of people look up to, someone that a lot of people are like, oh, he's like really like this, as I said, the new Tupac, whatever that means. I don't quite see YoungBoy as convincing of a modern day Tupac as a lot of other people do. But I gotta say, under a lot of videos, I get YB better comments. They just say YB better. And I know it's a meme, but like, even if it's not about YB, it's like crazy. It's like crazy how his fans are die hard for him, and that's good. That's how he became so successful. That's how he took over YouTube. That's how he did all of that. I got to give it to the guy. And I predicted his fall off 2 years ago. He's still doing pretty well, and he's one of the people that's doing the most numbers in the game right now. So I got to give it up for the guy. He's really done his thing. But what I'm just saying is, why does someone like that, who's apparently so in touch with what people want, who can convince people to become his fan, why does he put French Montana on his list? Like, I know they collaborated before, I think on like some tracks that aren't like very well known, but like who listens to French Montana and is like, oh, this dude is actually pretty dope, I gotta put him on the list? Nobody ever does that. It's weird that YoungBoy does. Now, obviously, he's entitled to his opinion. I can't blame him for having it. Maybe he actually, really enjoys listening to French Montana. I just can't get behind that way of thinking. A lot of people under the post on Instagram were also saying stuff like, LOL, he don't mess with anyone, so his options are very limited, saying that like he has beef going on with everybody. There's some, shit happening behind the scenes, that he might be linked to certain people, that he can't say their names because that'll make other people mad, stuff like that. maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something to it. But then I would also imagine that he doesn't actively listen to the music from those people. So that kind of goes hand in hand. Another person said he's just saying wild stuff because he's trying to sound different. And maybe that is a way of going about it. Nowadays, it's a lot about creating attention. It's about saying some outrageous stuff just to get, views, just to get people talking about him. And it's working. I'm talking about it right now. But YoungBoy was never someone that intentionally did that. He was always someone that didn't really he always tried to stay very real. Y'all remember that video of him talking about Nipsey's death, and the reporter's like, what you gotta say, about Nipsey Hussle's death? And he's like, I didn't know him, but can't show fake love, but prayers out to his family. That was one of the realest moments that I've seen a lot of these, people in the limelight do. And I respect YoungBoy, especially also ever since I saw that video, because that you got to be a man to do that. You got to be someone like, oh, I could say something right now. I could say something politically correct, like, oh yeah, man, I'm he influenced me so much, even if he didn't, because a lot of rappers do that. But like, I feel so sorry, and he's like, didn't know him, can't show fake love, and that's real, and that shows. I feel like more people were impressed by that than if he actually said something that was like, prayers God, so I gotta give it to the guy. Maybe there's also points to us getting more Yeat and YoungBoy collabs. I can definitely imagine Yeat having a YoungBoy feature on a new album. That is definitely something that I can see happening after he put Yeat in his top 5 favorite rappers. I just thought it was funny to go over this because a lot of people have been obviously been outraged by this, or like talking about it, whatever. But a lot of people are also very happy that Yeat made it into the top 5, and I'm kind of happy about it. Lil Noah is finally getting like some recognition for the stuff he's done and for the sound that he's not pioneered, but at least brought to the mainstream. And I feel like we're gonna get a lot more Yeat appreciation in the next 1 to 2 years. Also, when Yeat comes out with another album, 2 Alive dropped beginning of this year, if I remember correctly. He dropped a little Life EP in September, and now it's time for a bigger new album. And if we have features, we had Uzi on Life already. Uzi's likely also going to be on the next one because they also had a collaborative tape at some point together. We don't know what happened to that. Pink Life was the name of that. Now we also apparently have a YoungBoy collaboration happening at some point in some way. So I feel like this new Yeat album is definitely gonna influence a lot more, and people gonna appreciate and respect Yeat for a lot more. He's made it, at least in that was the first person he named. He made it onto YoungBoy's list of his favorite rappers, and Yeat was the first one that he thought about. So that's a big dub for Yeat, and I think that really is like something that you can be proud of. So shout out to Yeat. I'm happy he said Thugger. I'm happy he also said Soulja Slim, because obviously coming from New Orleans, showing some love. But French Montana, let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know what y'all think. Was he trolling? Was YoungBoy trolling with this one? Do you think that Yeat and French Montana belong in that top list? All of your thoughts on this and everything you got to say about what I said this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.